is busy misleading its own people. Either they say they're completely finished, or they say that they won. Like Fox News says everywhere, that they won, they're a megaphone. But the question is, rationally, Americans need to be told by someone that here's the reality. You can win, but it's going to take you years. You can win, but it's going to be very bloody. And after winning initially, after being very bloody, you will have to get out like you fled from Kabul, like you fled from Vietnam. Is America ready to put boots on the ground only to flee from Iran once again sometime in the future? Ladies and gentlemen, Trump or no Trump, this is a question the Americans must ask themselves. However, my complete analysis is this: given the pros and cons, Trump will not commit boots on the ground. He's going to try and find an easier exit in the next few days.
And taking a short break, viewers, do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. We'll track the upcoming elections. A lot of upcoming election updates are coming in, viewers, especially after Calcutta High Court has quashed Mamta's plea, dismissed the PIL challenging transfer of IAS, IPS officers ordered by Election Commission. The BJP releases 31-point manifesto for Assam. BJP promises implementing UCC and removing illegal immigrants from Assam. Stay tuned.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर्नब मसाला केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाई जीरा सिम MDH का जल जीरा जीरा सिम।
जीरा सिम असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
MDH
हमें धीरज के साथ, संयम के साथ, शांत मन से हर चुनौती का मुकाबला करना है। इसलिए मैं देशवासियों से भी कहूंगा कि हमें हर चुनौती के लिए तैयार रहना ही होगा। जैसा कि हम देख रहे हैं कि इस युद्ध को लेकर पल पल में हालात बदल रहे हैं। आदरणीय सभापति जी, ये संकट अलग प्रकार का है और इसके समाधान
In the India Today Best Universities Survey, India's #1 ranked universities in various streams are JNU Delhi, Amity University, AIIMS Delhi, IIT Delhi and National Law School Bengaluru.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा मसाला।
हमें धीरज के साथ, संयम के साथ, शांत मन से हर चुनौती का मुकाबला करना है। इसलिए मैं देशवासियों से भी कहूंगा कि हमें हर चुनौती के लिए तैयार रहना ही होगा। जैसा कि हम देख रहे हैं कि इस युद्ध को लेकर पल पल में हालात बदल रहे हैं। आदरणीय सभापति जी, ये संकट अलग प्रकार का है और इसके समाधान भी अलग प्रकार से ही तय किए जा रहे हैं। हमें धीरज के साथ, संयम के साथ, शांत मन से हर चुनौती का मुकाबला करना है। आदरणीय सभापति जी, जैसा कि हम देख रहे हैं कि इस युद्ध को लेकर पल पल में हालात बदल रहे हैं, इसलिए मैं देशवासियों से भी कहूंगा कि हमें हर चुनौती के लिए तैयार रहना ही होगा। इस युद्ध के दुष्प्रभाव लंबे समय तक रहने की प्रबल आशंका है, लेकिन मैं देशवासियों को भरोसा देता हूं, सरकार सतर्क है, तत्पर है और पूरी गंभीरता से रणनीति बना रही है, हर निर्णय ले रही है। देश की जनता का हित हमारे लिए सर्वोपरि है।
Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching Republic TV. I'm Yesu Bhardwaj, and from Bengal to Tamil Nadu to the 31-point manifesto that has now been released by the BJP in Assam, the states are all hot to go to assembly polls, and we're here to get you all the details that are ongoing as the states gear up to go to vote by another month. But first, here's a check on your headlines for the hour. Take a look. Controversy surrounds TVK as a candidate gets accused of sexual assault. Victim claims no action was taken despite complaint being filed. Tennis icon Leander Paes joins BJP ahead of Bengal polls. Leander says taking this responsibility to make the country proud. After joining the BJP, Padma Bhushan winner and tennis star Leander Paes says infrastructure in Bengal has improved, but the state can surely do better. Calcutta High Court dismisses PIL challenging transfer of IAS, IPS officers ordered by the Election Commission. BJP releases 31-point manifesto for Assam. The BJP promises implementing UCC and removing illegal immigrants from Assam. Viewers, and now controversy has surrounded a TVK candidate as a sexual assault complaint has been registered against him. This comes as Tamil Nadu is completely hot to go to polls in just a few weeks, and even then the TVK now faces complete problems over the sexual assault complaint. The complaint was registered at Thiruvallur police station today against the TVK candidate Prakasam Kutti, who is fighting over the Pune Malle seat in Tamil Nadu. That's the latest that we're picking up, a sexual assault complaint against a TVK minister who is fighting from the Pune Malle state in Chennai, Prakasam Kutti. Now, this complaint was registered at the Thiruvallur police station today and has put the TVK under severe scanner of the police. Not just this, Vijay's TVK is trying to outshine the generic parties including DMK, AIADMK, the NDA and the India coalition amid the ongoing poll battle. And now, to drop a huge bomb on TVK, a complaint has been registered against one of their candidates, R. Prakasam, at the police station, who is fighting from the Pune Malle constituency. Now, also joining me live on the broadcast is my colleague Sarda, who joins us from Ground Zero to get us more details. Sarda, what more are you picking up in this case? You know, at a time when TVK is trying to outshine the already existing stronghold parties, coalitions like the NDA and India Bloc, at that time, a complaint of sexual assault against one of TVK's ministers. How is it being dealt with? What are the more details that you can get us?
Well, day before yesterday, the candidate list for the TVK's all 234 constituencies was announced by Vijay, and yesterday the nominations for all 234 constituencies by the party members were filed. And while filing the affidavit is when this came out to the news that there is one particular person who is being targeted for sexual assault, alleged sexual assault complaint being given against the candidate Prakasam Kutti, who has been contesting from the Poonamalli constituency in the urban Chennai. Where pointing out this, the party candidate who was initially complaining to the TVK party members and Vijay saying that there was no action taken, moved the Tiruvallur police station asking to take an immediate action against Prakasam Kutti, the candidate of the TVK, under the sexual assault, alleging sexual assault against her. She also mentioned that though multiple times complaint had been raised inside the TVK party, also stating that once she has written a letter to the active politician Vijay asking him to take an action. However, there was no answer from the party high command. So today she moved to the Tiruvallur police station where she gave an official complaint against Prakasam Kutti, asking the police to take a grave action against the sexual assault allegations. Also, apart from that, the TVK's candidate list also contains another history sheeter who is contesting from the Thanjavur district, where he is a person who has come out on bail over a ganja case, where Vijay's party claims that their main goal is to make sure that they make a safe state for the women of Tamil Nadu and a drug-free state. News coming in that the candidates fielded by the TVK leader Vijay are people who have sexual assault allegations against them, and also a person who is out on bail from the jail over a ganja case brings in shock to the people of Tamil Nadu.
Yeah. Right, Sarda. In fact, continue being with us. We're also getting some more breaking developments from the Tamil Nadu elections. Sarda, continue being with us. But now, viewers, shifting focus, the BJP is all set to release the first list of its candidates in the Tamil Nadu polls. Now, the AIADMK-led National Democratic Alliance has given the BJP 27 seats to contest this election on. And the BJP is all set to release its first list of candidates as part of the Tamil Nadu Assembly elections. Now, in fact, their party president Naynar Nagendran has said that he will be contesting from the Sattur seat. Now, he said that he has changed his constituency to Sattur from the earlier Tirunelveli, as the ally AIADMK wanted to contest from Tirunelveli. So now the BJP chief Nagendran will be fighting from Sattur. In fact, Sarda continues being with us on the broadcast. Sarda, get us more details about this list. You know, the final list has, of course, not been released yet. It will be any time from now. But we do have an idea of who the main leaders are going to be and what constituencies they're going to eye. And in fact, BJP is going to fight on its stronghold, the urban centers in Chennai. Speak to us about that, Sarda.
Well, today the election in charge of the State and Union Minister Piyush Goyal is coming down in the evening to announce the final list of the BJP candidates who will be contesting the elections in the upcoming 2026 State Legislative Assembly elections. While the nominations have already begun yesterday, today being a government holiday, the BJP is announcing the list of the candidates, so the nominations can be filed in the next 4 days as per the BJP's plan. Meanwhile, the state president of the party, BJP, Naynar Nagendran, who generally stands in the Tirunelveli constituency, which is also his hometown, for the first time will be contesting from Sattur, a different constituency where he'll be contesting from. Today, speaking to the media at the Tirunelveli airport, announcing that Piyush Goyal will be arriving in the evening to make the final list of announcement of the candidates in the constituencies that the BJP has taken for. He stated that though he will not be contesting from Tirunelveli, this time his constituency is Sattur, which he'll be contesting from, and openly declared that that Sattur is the constituency that he'll be contesting from, and also added that it was because the AIADMK, the party which is leading the NDA alliance in the state of Tamil Nadu, would be preferring the seat in Tirunelveli rather than Sattur, and that's the reason that the BJP has opted for this particular constituency where Naynar Nagendran will be contesting from.
Right, Sarda, thanks for getting us those details. In fact, we will, of course, closely keep tracking Tamil Nadu as it goes to polls in a few weeks. But for now, viewers, shifting focus, we're also getting you some more developments now. Union Minister Kiran Rijiju, Union Parliamentary Affairs Minister, has exclusively spoken with Republic. In fact, he refuted the Congress. He said that the Congress party sides with Maoists. They side with Red Terror. In fact, this comes closely after just yesterday, Amit Shah spoke to the Lok Sabha addressed the floor and accused the Congress party of not developing areas that are marred by red terror, and accused the Congress party of closely working with Maoists despite many of their own supporters having been victims of red terror. Now first, let's listen in to Union Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju and his hot take on the Congress siding with the red terror corridor.
सवाल ये है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी जो माओवाद को फैलाने वाले बड़े बड़े नेतृत्व के साथ सोनिया जी और राहुल जी क्यों मिले हुए हैं, और जेएनयू में जब हमारे सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस मारे जाते हैं तो वो जश्न मनाता है, तो उन लोगों के साथ सोनिया जी और राहुल जी क्यों साठगांठ में है। सोनिया जी के नेतृत्व में नेशनल एडवाइजरी काउंसिल बनाया, उसमें पूरा माओवाद को फैलाने वाले लोगों को क्यों जगह दिया, वो क्यों मेंबर बना करके रखा था जो पूरा कैबिनेट से भी ऊपर काम करते थे। और राहुल गांधी जी माओवाद फैलाने वाला लीडर्स से क्यों मिले हुए हैं, क्योंकि माओवाद का शिकार तो कांग्रेस के लोग भी है। हजारों सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस मारे गए, हजारों इनोसेंट गांव वाले मारे गए, और कांग्रेस के कई नेता भी ये वामपंथी उग्रवाद का शिकार बने हैं, कई जाने गए हैं। तो अब कांग्रेस के नीचे वाला जो लीडर्स है, कार्यकर्ता है, वो कांग्रेस के टॉप लीडरशिप राहुल गांधी और सोनिया गांधी जी से पूछना चाहिए कि इतने देश के लोगों का जाने गए, कांग्रेस वर्कर्स का भी जाने गए, तो फिर सोनिया जी और राहुल जी ये माओवाद के नेताओं से क्यों मिले हुए हैं। अब ये सवाल कांग्रेस अपने नेता से पूछे।
डेडलाइन रखी गई थी 31 मार्च की, वो डेडलाइन अब पूरी होते ही हमने उसको पूरा भी कर लिया। कितना चुनौतीपूर्ण था और किस तरीके से सिस्टम ने काम किया।
गृह मंत्री जी ने इतना अच्छा से कल बताया कितना चुनौतीपूर्ण है, कितना मेहनत करके सबका साथ मिल करके कई जाने गए हैं, लेकिन अब माओवाद को खत्म करने के लिए जो कदम उठाया वो सक्सेस हो गया। गिने चुने एक दो बचाया हुआ है, वो तो उनका वर्चस्व खत्म हो गया।
Viewers, 4 states across India, Assam, West Bengal, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, and 1 union territory, Puducherry, are all set to go to vote in the assembly elections, arriving within a month. Let's take a look at what's happening across these areas as the poll-bound states and union territories ready themselves, and as parties now step up their campaigning for taking votes and taking power in the respective states. Take a look. Ahead of West Bengal Assembly elections 2026, senior Congress leader Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary campaigns in Murshidabad's Behrampur, the constituency where he is the party's candidate for the upcoming state assembly polls. TVK General Secretary Adhav Arjuna and party's candidate from Villivakkam constituency holds a door-to-door campaign ahead of the Tamil Nadu Assembly elections in 2026. Battle between the BJP and the Congress is refreshing now, with Union Minister Nirmala Sitharaman saying the Prime Minister visited the Northeast 77 times, while another Prime Minister who was a Congress MP from Assam visited the entire Northeastern region not any more than just 10 times. Now viewers, in a major political development in West Bengal, tennis icon Leander Paes has joined the BJP ahead of the 2026 assembly polls. Listen into what he had to say about sports, development and all the other things, including infrastructure inside West Bengal.
चालीस साल से मैं मोटिवेशन कर रहा था कि मैं कर सकता हूं तो आप भी कर सकते हैं। If I can, you can. हाँ, मैं बंगाल में पैदा हुआ था। हाँ, हमारा माँ बंगाली हेरिटेज से पैदा हुआ। मगर जब मैं बंगाल में खेल रहे थे ना 1986 पे 12 मई 1986 में टेनिस रैकेट उठा के खेल रहे थे, तब वहां पे इतना मौका था ही नहीं, इतना इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नहीं था, इतना क्ले कोर्ट्स, हार्ड कोर्ट्स, लाइट्स। आज भी पूरा देश में एक इंडोर टेनिस कोर्ट नहीं है। और हम ट्रॉपिकल देश में रहते हैं जहां पे बारिश के मौसम 3 महीने या 4 महीने होते हैं, जहां पे गर्मी का मौसम 3 महीना होते हैं, तो 6 महीना या 7 महीना वहीं पे निकल जाते हैं और एक इंडोर टेनिस कोर्ट नहीं है। और जब मैं बंगाल में टेनिस सीख रहे थे, तब से आज तक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर और अच्छा हुआ है। मगर बंगाल कैन डू बेटर। हम बंगाल में फोकस कर सकते हैं, तमिलनाडु में फोकस कर सकते हैं, बिहार में फोकस कर सकते हैं, गुजरात में तो बहुत फोकस है अभी। मगर पूरा देश में हम स्पोर्ट्स और स्पोर्ट्स एजुकेशन में फोकस कर सकते हैं कि बच्चों को इंस्पायर करे, एम्पावर करे। हमारे जो वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट जो होते हैं खेल में, जो हमारे खेल जो होते हैं टेनिस, वो पहले खेल जो है कि इक्वल प्राइज मनी मिलते हैं। सेरेना विलियम्स को एक ही प्राइज मनी मिलते हैं जो रॉजर फेडरर को मिलते थे। आजकल साबालेंका को एक ही प्राइज मनी मिलते हैं जो अल्कराज को मिलते हैं।
Viewers, now shifting focus, the first Khelo India Tribal Games 2026 are underway in full swing and Odisha is holding a strong second position. The state has secured a total of 23 medals comprising of 9 gold, 4 silvers and 10 bronze medals. Take a look at what's unfolding as the games range on.
The first Khelo India Tribal Games 2026 has witnessed exceptional performances from KIIT, KISS athletes. Swimming emerged as the most dominant discipline. Anjali Munda standing out as one of the brightest stars of the event. She delivered an outstanding performance in the swimming events, securing 5 gold medals across categories. She clinched gold in the 200-meter freestyle, 100-meter backstroke and 200-meter individual medley, showing her versatility and endurance.
Viewers, Republic, while on a campaign trail with MLA Tharang Gogoi from Assam's Naharkatia constituency, spoke to him, and in fact the conversation was regarding what the road ahead looks like for Assam, and especially in terms of electoral results and developments that are going to come forward following the state going to poll for their assembly polls. Take a listen.
ये नामरूप है एंड यहाँ इस तरफ गार्डन है, इस तरफ डिंग पर नेशनल पार्क है। और आज से 3 महीना पहले यहाँ पे पीएम साहब खुद आए थे और ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी जी खुद आए थे। ही लेड ए फाउंडेशन फॉर ए न्यू यूरिया प्लान। इन्वेस्टमेंट इज अराउंड 10,000-11,000 करोड़। जब नामरूप में एक पुराना यूरिया फैक्ट्री था, वो बंद होने वाला था। कांग्रेस ने 20 साल कुछ नहीं किया। दे लेड ए फाउंडेशन 2026 2006 में रामविलास पासवान के फाउंडेशन ले स्टोन किया था। 6 से 20 साल हो गया, 1 इंच भी आगे नहीं बढ़ा। अब पीएम खुद आके इसका फाउंडेशन लेइंग करेंगे तो ऑब्वियसली लोग को ये विश्वास में आता है कि ये डेवलप होने वाला है। इफ़ यू सी दिस रोड, ये रास्ता पहले गड्ढा था। इसमें पहले लोग बोलते कि ये रास्ता है, ये गड्ढा है, मालूम नहीं चलता है। पर अभी एक भी गड्ढा नहीं है। लोग इतना स्पीड गाड़ी चला रहे आ रहे हैं। बिकॉज इफ़ वी वांट टू प्रमोट ढींग पटकाए, रास्ते अच्छे नहीं होंगे, टूरिस्ट क्यों आएंगे? अगर ये यूरिया का फैक्ट्री 10,000 करोड़ का इन्वेस्ट बना है, बाहर के लोग आएंगे, फॉरेनर्स कंपनी आएंगे काम करने के लिए, यहाँ क्यों आएंगे? तो इसलिए हमने गवर्नमेंट ने पूरी एफर्ट से रोड डेवलपमेंट किया है। हमने फंड्स लाए हैं। नाहरकटिया का सासोनी गांव का इलाका है। नामरूप एक कमर्शियल या इंडस्ट्रियल हब है। नाहरकट एक छोटा शहर है, जयपुर एक नेचुरल प्लेस है जहाँ पे नेचुरल ब्यूटी है। तो हमने पूरी इकट्ठा करके काम किया है ताकि इस LAC को दिस ऑन पीपल, ये लोगों का ऊपर है कि लोग वोट करेंगे नहीं करेंगे, बट आवर वर्क इज़ टू वर्क। हमारा काम करना है, हम वो काम कर रहे हैं और 100% एफर्ट है कि हम काम कर रहे हैं। बाकी लोगों के ऊपर है कि 20 साल रखे, 5 साल के बाद रखे, 10 साल रखे, ये लोगों का है आशीर्वाद रहेगा। लेकिन हमारा एफर्ट ऐसे रहता है कि हमें हज़ारों टाइम के लिए बीजेपी रहे, मैं रहूँ ना रहूँ, मेरे बाद में हमें कोई है तो बीजेपी का ही MLA आए, ताकि लोगों को लगे कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी काम कर रही है और लोगों को डिलीवर कर रही है।
Viewers, these are fresh visuals that are coming in from West Bengal's capital city, Kolkata. You can see the tussle that is broken out between people and the police. Now remember, the pre-poll violence cases in Bengal are mounting by the day. First, it was between the BJP and the TMC, a major clash that erupted in Chopra, after which, in fact, the BJP, one more clash was noted on Ram Navami when the BJP filed an official complaint with the Election Commission that took full cognizance. These are other visuals that are coming in from West Bengal's capital city of Kolkata. Now remember, comes at the heels of massive increase in the pre-poll violence in Kolkata. In fact, my colleague from Kolkata, Kisle, joins us on the phone line to get us more details. Kisle, speak to us about these visuals. What is happening? The police can be seen, completely stopping these workers who look like they're in no mood to step down. Kisle.
We can see there's a scuffle between TMC and BJP workers outside the CEO office in Kolkata. Now, what's happening is a while back, the TMC allegedly beat up a BJP worker outside the CEO office, Central Electoral Officer's office in Kolkata, and BJP alleges that the TMC is tampering with Form 6. And on the other hand, BJP also alleges the same, that TMC is trying to, the BJP also alleges that the TMC is stopping BJP workers and officials from submitting Form 6 and Form 7. And that is why a scuffle broke out, a clash broke out just outside the CEO office in Kolkata. The BJP alleges that one of their workers were manhandled by the TMC. They say that the TMC goons allegedly manhandled and beat up their worker, BJP supporter, just outside the CEO office. And that is why they started, they are sitting in for a protest, and they have started this slogan. We can see these BJP workers. This is just outside the Election Commission office in Kolkata. And we can see how that there are, in fact, two parties in this. At one side, we see TMC workers. At the other hand, we see on the opposite direction, there are BJP workers. This is just outside the CEO office. A huge deployment of police officials are sent. We know that the law and order department is now handled by the Election Commission in West Bengal, because the elections are already declared. So the Election Commission is very apprehensive about the deteriorating law and order condition in the state in different pockets. Therefore, any such situation, if they arise, the Election Commission is taking stern action. We see as soon as this scuffle broke out outside the Election Commission's office, outside the CEO office in Kolkata, there was a huge deployment of police officials who were sent immediately by the Election Commission, and they are trying to stop this scuffle between the TMC and the BJP workers. The BJP workers time and again alleged that TMC goons, TMC gundas have been trying to stop BJP workers or common people from submitting Form 6 and Form 7 at the Election Commission's office, at the CEO office.
Right, Kishle.
TMC, on the other hand, is saying that the BJP is trying to enter fake names with the help of fake Form 6 and Form 7. That is the reason why this scuffle broke out. And now we see that there is a standstill outside the CEO office.
Right, Kishle. In fact, viewers, that was my colleague Kishle getting us a detailed rundown, who continues to be with us on the broadcast. The visuals that are coming in fresh from West Bengal, a scuffle that is broken out between the BJP workers and the Kolkata police. Now, remember, the BJP, like my colleague also mentioned, has alleged that its workers were being prevented from submitting Form 7. Now, just to quickly break down, the Form 7 is a document that is used to object to the names that are existing in the voter list of any state. Now, remember, BJP's campaign since the beginning of this entire assembly election preparations has been to get the infiltrators who have been a part of the voter list for far too long, to get the repeated names or even the names of people who don't even exist out of the voter list for a fair election to be held in West Bengal. Now, Form 7 is used for that very purpose. It objects to the names that are existing in the voter list. Now, their efforts are being doused down by election registration officers in Kolkata, including their attempts being stonewalled by the TMC and the local administrative bodies. In fact, Kishle continues to join us on the broadcast. Kishle, walk us through what other details are you gauging?
Well, exactly. We are trying to understand the situation right now, and as we understand that the situation has been doused off temporarily by the police officials. But however, the visual that we are showing right now is the visual which is a situation which happened a while back. TMC workers, in fact, tried to manhandle certain BJP supporters and BJP workers who were arriving at the election office, at the CEO office, in order to submit Form 7. As you rightly pointed out, there are various names that are being objected by the BJP as names that have come as individuals that have come from other side of the border. In fact, infiltrators, several infiltrators' names are there in the electoral list, is what the BJP is saying. Therefore, they are trying to submit Form 7 in order to object to those names which they allege are infiltrators or should not be there in the final list. Now, the TMC is, on the other hand, trying to intervene and stop the BJP workers from reaching the CEO office and while the TMC workers were trying to physically stop BJP workers from doing so, a scuffle broke out and allegedly TMC workers started beating up and physically assaulting a BJP worker, a BJP supporter. Yeah. After which a number of BJP workers gathered there, and right now a huge number of police officials have been deployed who are trying to stop the situation and calm down things.
Yeah. In fact, viewers, now vote bank politics has marred West Bengal elections for far too long. Pre-poll violence and whatnot. But now the BJP has said that their resolve is to conclude free and fair elections in Bengal. Now, this is coming in from Kerala, where the manifesto is being released. Let's listen in to what is going to be on the list for the people of Kerala before they go to vote in their assembly polls.
BJP is looking, NDA is looking very well shaped and working for the people of Kerala. Our BDJS President Tushar Vellapalli ji, our 2020 President Sabu ji, our VV Rajesh, the Mayor, and other dignitaries sitting in the dais, and all the senior party leaders of all the NDA alliance partners, and all the eminent personalities sitting here of this Trivandrum city, and all the media person. Today, first of all, Kerala Tile Ente Priya Ped Sahodri Shohodaram Mare Ella Varkum Ente Namaskaram. Last time when I came to Kerala, but this time I am coming to Kerala. This big opportunity is given to us by our Honorable Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi ji. I am really thankful to the people of Kerala that he got the real name, real culture, worship word Kerala for their own state. Kerala is blessed with natural beauty, rich culture, heritage, minerals, and other a good tourist place for all over the Indians and others. hard-working. Today, the moment we are going to give you the manifesto, in the same time, we should know
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ स्वाद आया? आया।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
हमें धीरज के साथ, संयम के साथ, शांत मन से हर चुनौती का मुकाबला करना है। इसलिए मैं देशवासियों से भी कहूंगा कि हमें हर चुनौती के लिए तैयार रहना ही होगा। जैसा कि हम देख रहे हैं कि इस युद्ध को लेकर पल पल में हालात बदल रहे हैं। आदरणीय सभापति जी, ये संकट अलग प्रकार का है और इसके समाधान भी अलग प्रकार से ही तय किए जा रहे हैं। हमें
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
of Muslim appeasement at the cost of hurting the sentiment of the people from other faith and the beliefs. My dear friend, it is no secret that whether it is the neighboring state of Tamil Nadu and other state, the Communists and the Congress have been in the same team. Even they have ruled in the UPA government, they are in the same alliance partner. But at that time also, they never think for the Kerala. We have seen, we have a good, our Honorable President, Mr. Rajiv Chandrasekhar will definitely give you the clear data, how when the UPA government is running, how the Kerala people suffer at that time. And when our NDA government is running, how we are working for the people of Kerala. In railway sectors, in road sectors, in transport and other sectors. Always, Honorable Prime Minister believed that the people of Kerala should deserve with all the facilities they are lagging behind due to the lack of misgovernance of LDF and UDF government. But not for long, the good days of LDF and UDF are over. Their teamwork has been cowed by the people of the Kerala. Now the time for the change, and this change can only bring from the BJP, and the BJP will give the alternate government in the Kerala. The winds of change are blowing in Kerala. The NDA has risen from 2% of vote to 20% of vote, and this shows the people of Kerala has credible and decisive alternative by showing by the BJP. Unprecedented public support indicates a clear political shift, and NDA is confident in securing a majority and forming a government for the people of the Kerala. Guided by the Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi's leadership, we always believe Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas and Sabka Prayas. And this manifesto is the roadmap reflecting the people's aspirations and a clear break from the misgovernance of the LDL and UDF government. For the manifesto point of view, I always say Vikshit Kerala, Surakshit Kerala and Vishwas Samraksham Kerala. From the foundation of a government's model focus on growth, security and the trust of the people of the Kerala. And they will establish a corruption-free administration using technology and AI-driven system to ensure transparency, efficiency and accountability in a real-time service to the people of the Kerala. We will bring the concept of citizen first into reality. All 3.6 crore people of Kerala will have the equal right, equal justice and equal opportunity to grow. For social welfare, we always have a food security and additional health expenses for Bhakshya Suraksha. Health expenses, a monthly rechargeable card of 2,500 will be given to the women of each poor household. We will provide 2 free LPG cylinders per year, one each during Onam and the Christmas to poor families of the Kerala. The income limit of the economically weaker section will be increased to 8 lakhs for their upliftment. We will ensure that our government 20,000 liters of water per month will be provided free of charge to every household of the Kerala. We will introduce a strengthened welfare pension of 3,000 per month for women's heads of poor household, widows and the senior citizens. From our manifesto for our Sankalp, we will expand Ayushman Bharat PMJ to cover every Malayali, providing them with a crucial safety net during their medical emergencies. We will launch an employment-linked incentive scheme through which a soft loan of rupees 1 lakh per employment create for Kerala residents shall be extended to all enterprises in the state. In the view of culture and religion, we always believe for us, India first, nation first. And for this, we always believe the culture of the each state has the rich potential for the growth of the state. Recently, I have heard Rahul Gandhi ji asking for Sabrimala. I want to tell him that, Rahul Gandhi ji, the people of Kerala know your true colors. The people know your appeasement politics, and you love a specific community for your own benefit. You have always appeasement the other community. But since you have spoken, I want to ask Rahul Gandhi ji, why didn't you speak a single word when your DMK friends and Stalin's son have insulted Hindu community and their belief? Now, as the friends, what happened in Sabrimala is not an isolated event. The concern raised around temple administration related issues reflect a large pattern that has emerged under both the LDF and UDF over the years. Devotees across the Kerala strongly and rightly feel that their faith tradition had not received the respect and protection they deserve. And both the LDF and the UDF is to be blame each other for match-fixing game, but they don't have any interest for the people and the respect for the people of the Kerala. I want to assure the people of Kerala that we will continue a special commission to examine the last 30 years of temple audit report, inspect temple assets, take firm action in all cases of misuse of power. A time-bound CBI inquiry will be conducted into the Sabrimala gold theft to ensure a thorough investigation and the culprit will be punished. This will be ensured by the BJP government. We will ensure a complete revamp of the Devashram board to increase devotees' participation in the temple management across the Kerala. Friends, the NDA government is committed to ensuring transparency, accountability, and the greater participation of devotees in the temple affairs. In infrastructure, we always have a vision from our leadership, Narendra Modi ji, and our central government leadership. We will establish.
Viewers, we are interrupted by a breaking news coming in from the war zone. The IRGC Navy, the IRGC of Iran's Navy, has now announced that it has struck a covert team. Right now, we are getting in more visuals from UAE.
IRGC Navy announced a strike on a covert location hosting 200 American commanders and officers in the UAE. So this is a US base in UAE that is covert base, and Iran IRGC Navy says that it has struck that covert location that hosts around 200 American personnel, 200 American commanders and officers in the United Arab Emirates. We've seen that there have been incessant strikes by Iran, by the IRGC in UAE, in different other countries of the Gulf, including Saudi bases as well, targeting the American troops, targeting the American bases, targeting the American oil facilities, the fuel tankers as well. Of course, that's different. US base housing 200 personnel has been struck. Ishita joins us on the broadcast from the newsroom. Ishita, well, that's quite clear. The message being sent out by the IRGC is that we are not going to, stop anything from our side. You can send in as many troops you want to. And the fact that it's the IRGC Navy just after Ali Reza's death is confirmed, the IRGC Navy announces that it has struck this covert base of Americans.
Right, of course, we have seen after the killing of Ali Reza Tangsiri, there was a declaration issued by IRGC Navy that they will take a revenge for his killing. And we have seen after Isfahan was also hit by the US just last night, there have been a ramping up of attacks by the Iranian side. And in this case, we are seeing an attack on a covert base in the United Arab Emirates. It was hosting about 200 American officers as well as commanders. Now, if this in fact turns out to be true, we could be looking at high casualty on the side of the US. And remember, this comes right after Iran also declared that all of the residences, official residences, and the offices of the US and Israeli officials all across the Gulf nations will become their legitimate targets. This was a warning issued by IRGC just a few days before, and now we're looking at more and more attacks coming on such sites. This time, a covert base has been hit in United Arab Emirates. It was hosting about 200 American commanders and officers. Now, as far as US is concerned, we have seen casualties rising on their side. It's already in a double digits. It's over 13, and now with this case, the casualty count could rise further, and it could also bring in more pressure on the US president if the body bag count increases on their side. But this time, it's a latest attack that's now taking place on a covert base. More details are awaited at this point if there is any casualty that has taken place or not. But it is a big attack that has in fact come in on a covert base in the United Arab Emirates, hosting over 200 American commanders and officers.
Right, many thanks, Ishita, for joining us with those details coming in. Viewers, meanwhile, we have a video that has been released by the IRGC. And IRGC is, in fact, warnings, throwing a challenge to the American troops, warning them that, come, we are ready for you. IRGC has released this video in a message to United States and Israel, saying that the caption of this video, in fact, is, come closer, we are waiting. Iran's army has released this footage of its elite commandos as well, declaring it is ready to confront and defeat the American soldiers. And okay, we have more updates coming in. This is another video that has been released by Iran. I think this is another video. This is a separate video. We'll try and get you more details as to... this is not that video. This is not the warning video. We'll just play out that warning video. This is a different video. I think it's the desalination plant that we are showing here. In fact, continuing with what the media in Iran is saying, Iranian army has said that the media reports are saying that Chechen military units are ready to fight in Iran as well. So let's just see how Iran has sent out a strong message to US and Israel. We have seen that how there's a massive buildup of troops. The troops are being sent in. The American troops are being sent in for a ground operation. And Iran says that they can come over and we are ready to confront and defeat the American soldiers. That's the message that has been sent out by the Iranians, by the IRGC. And just played that video out. It's, of course, part of the PSYOPs, which we have been seeing throughout this entire war. We've seen their commandos, the elite units of Iran. Okay, let's play that video out. More breaking news coming in right now. Iranian media reports are saying that the Chechen military units are ready to fight the war in Iran against the US. Iranian media says that forces of Russia's Chechen Republic ready to fight for Iran. That Kadyrov's army ready to be deployed in Iran in case of a ground invasion. So these Kadyrovites, ladies and gentlemen, are pro-Russian forces. These are the Ahmad forces, and they are heavily armed paramilitary forces. And they're allied with Russia. They are currently even taking part with Russia in the Ukraine war. They're known for their urban warfare. And that's a big development if the reports are true, because we are just citing the Iranian media reports that Chechen fighters, Chechen military units are ready to participate in the war in Iran against, of course, the US and Israeli forces. And they have been, of course, involved in Russia's war against Ukraine as well. And Chechen forces, of course, are the pro-Russia forces, and Russia being an ally, being in touch with Iran also. We understand that this could be another sort of assistance or a role that Russia could also be playing indirectly there as far as this war is concerned. And we'll continue to show you more visuals, to try and get you more visuals of that. And more and more visuals from how Iran has been unrelenting in its attacks, and now it's saying that pro-Russia forces, the Chechen Republic of the Chechen forces, the Chechen military unit, will be ready to take part. And that's, of course, very, very interesting. Now they are ready to be deployed to Iran to support Iran against US. And this is in the event of US ground invasion, because we see that a build-up is happening. Development comes after we see that there have been intensification of the battle of words as well. And we've seen that the Chechen forces now could be, it's in fact, we see that Russia also is saying as we speak that there could be, that this is a wider conflict, that the Russians are calling for a halt to unjustified US-Israeli aggression. That's what Russia is saying. Moscow is saying that they're ready to mediate between the nations involved in the West Asia war, and also warns that West Asia crisis could escalate into a broader conflict. This is the Russian foreign minister speaking. All right, we have some more breaking news coming in. This is from the Indonesian Foreign Ministry. The attack on our peacekeeping forces in southern Lebanon is unacceptable and reflects the rapid deterioration of security. So this is about the ground operations that continue in Lebanon by the Israeli Defense Forces. And now Indonesia is saying that its soldiers have been affected. In fact, there have been some UN peacekeeping forces, Indonesian UN peacekeepers, who have been killed in an explosion in southern Lebanon, viewers. And at least 2 of them have been killed on the 30th of March. It's a second fatal event involving Indonesian UN personnel within 24 hours. Okay, viewers, let me just tell you more about what has been happening in Lebanon. This is Indonesia condemning the attack on the peacekeepers in Lebanon, and we'll just play out this report as well, as the escalation in Lebanon has reached a critical flashpoint, with the UN peacekeeping forces being also affected. We'll bring you this report.
The thin line in southern Lebanon is fracturing. In a span of 24 hours, 3 UN peacekeepers have been killed as the conflict between Israel and Hezbollah enters a deadly new phase. The UN confirmed that 1 peacekeeper was killed when a projectile struck a UN post. Hours later, an explosion struck a UN vehicle, killing 2 more and leaving others critically wounded.
3 members of the United Nations peacekeeping force in southern Lebanon have been killed just in the last 24 hours as the war continues to rage and actually escalates between Israel and the Iran-backed Lebanese militant group Hezbollah. Now, we heard from the United Nations that all 3 of these peacekeepers were from Indonesia, and this is because different countries from around the world contribute troops from their armies to this peacekeeping force that basically monitors the border, the demarcation line between Israel and Lebanon, has long acted as a buffer between the countries and implements the ceasefires that have resulted after decades of conflict between Israel and Hezbollah.
The UN said that all 3 peacekeepers belonged to the Indonesia contingent and were monitoring the war in Lebanon. The UN has issued a strong condemnation, reminding all parties that targeting peacekeepers is a violation of international law. The source of the fire remains under investigation, but the timing is undeniable. These fatalities coincide with the Israeli military's announcement of expansion of its ground invasion, pushing deeper into Lebanese territory and squeezing neutral forces between 2 warring fronts. As the war enters its 2nd month and widens across the region, the presence of international monitors is becoming increasingly precarious, signaling a total breakdown of regional safeguards.
All right, viewers, now we have a reaction coming in from Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi. Now, he has said, in fact, it comes as a warning to the U.S. troops in the Middle East, in West Asia. He has also talked about the forces of America who are right now in Saudi Arabia, as we see the strikes continue all across the Gulf region from Iran. And now Araghchi himself has said that it's time that the U.S. forces eject themselves from UAE, from Saudi Arabia, as we see that there are targeted attacks that continue from the Iranian side. And now the Foreign Minister of Iran says that it's time that they should be leaving West Asia. He says, and I quote, "Our operations are aimed at enemy aggressors who have no respect for Arabs or Iranians, nor can provide any security. High time to eject U.S. forces," says Abbas Araghchi on social media platform X. And more breaking news coming in right now. The gasoline in the United States has crossed an average of $4 a gallon. And average cost of gas has jumped to 35%. So the oil crisis continues. We see that the gasoline prices in United States is now surging. And my colleague Pranav joins us live on the broadcast from the business desk. Pranav, tell us more about the average U.S. gas price that has soared beyond $4 per gallon now.
Well, absolutely. In fact, this is probably the first time or the indication or a hint that the U.S. consumers are now feeling the heat of Donald Trump's war in Iran. Just to give you a perspective, the U.S. gasoline prices have surged above 4% per gallon for the first time in the past 3 years. Remember, they had touched about $5 a gallon during COVID times, but had come down, and the cooling hasn't lasted long because they're back to what they were, the levels they were in 2022. Just to add to it, this is an impact of the rising oil prices in the Middle East, which have surged more than 50% ever since the war began. So yes, the impact finally now coming back to haunt U.S. consumers, who will actually be, keenly looking forward to or deciding the fate of Donald Trump, whose, the popularity ratings have come down because of the war. In fact, lower than Biden's popularity rating. So we need to see how this impacts the U.S. consumer and in turn Donald Trump as he faces midterm elections.
All right, Pranav, many thanks for joining us with those details coming in on that story, viewers. We continue to get you more updates from West Asia and the impact, but we will be spending a short break and then we'll get you more details on the build-up to the elections. So on the other side of this very short break, we're going to tell you about how Calcutta High Court has dismissed the PIL challenging the transfer of IAS and IPS officers ordered by the Election Commission. And BJP releases 31-point manifesto for Assam. BJP promises implementing the UCC and removing illegal immigrants from Assam. More on the other side.
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाई जीरा से MDH का जलजीरा जीरा से
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
MDH
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार, विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
हमें धीरज के साथ, संयम के साथ, शांत मन से हर चुनौती का मुकाबला करना है। इसलिए मैं देशवासियों से भी कहूंगा कि हमें हर चुनौती के लिए तैयार रहना ही होगा। जैसा कि हम देख रहे हैं कि इस युद्ध को लेकर पल पल में हालात बदल रहे हैं। आदरणीय सभापति जी, ये संकट अलग प्रकार का है और इसके समाधान भी अलग प्रकार से ही तय किए जा रहे हैं। हमें धीरज के साथ, संयम के साथ, शांत मन से हर चुनौती का मुकाबला करना है। आदरणीय सभापति जी, जैसा कि हम देख रहे हैं कि इस युद्ध को लेकर पल पल में हालात बदल रहे हैं। इसलिए मैं देशवासियों से भी कहूंगा कि हमें हर चुनौती के लिए तैयार रहना ही होगा। इस युद्ध के दुष्प्रभाव लंबे समय तक रहने की प्रबल
In the India Today Best Universities Survey, India's #1 ranked universities in various streams are JNU Delhi, Amity University, AIIMS Delhi, IIT Delhi, and National Law School Bengaluru.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद ये तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा
राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
हमें धीरज के साथ, संयम के साथ, शांत मन से हर चुनौती का मुकाबला करना है। इसलिए मैं देशवासियों से भी कहूंगा कि हमें हर चुनौती के लिए तैयार रहना ही होगा। जैसा कि हम देख रहे हैं कि इस युद्ध को लेकर पल पल में हालात बदल रहे हैं। आदरणीय सभापति जी, ये संकट अलग प्रकार का है और इसके समाधान भी अलग प्रकार से ही तय किए जा रहे हैं। हमें
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट,
स्वाद बढ़ाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और फरसान, अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार, विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
हमें धीरज के साथ, संयम के साथ, शांत मन से हर चुनौती का मुकाबला करना है। इसलिए मैं देशवासियों से भी कहूंगा कि हमें हर चुनौती के लिए तैयार रहना ही होगा। जैसा कि हम देख रहे हैं कि इस युद्ध को लेकर पल पल में हालात बदल रहे हैं। आदरणीय सभापति जी, ये संकट अलग प्रकार का है और इसके समाधान भी अलग प्रकार से ही तय किए जा रहे हैं। हमें धीरज के साथ, संयम के साथ, शांत मन से हर चुनौती का मुकाबला करना है। आदरणीय सभापति जी, जैसा कि हम देख रहे हैं
watching live and breaking on Republic TV with me, Sheetla Mata. Now, viewers, our top focus for this bulletin is going to be what's happening in the election-bound states of Assam and Bengal. From what's inside BJP's 31-point manifesto to what is Chief Minister Hemant Biswa saying on the issue of infiltration. We'll get you all the latest on that. But first up, a quick check at the headlines. BJP President Nitin Abin and Rajiv Chandrasekhar unveil an NDA manifesto in Kerala. Controversy surrounds the TVK as a candidate gets accused of sexual assault. Victim claims that no action was taken despite complaint being filed. Tennis icon Leander Pace joins the BJP ahead of Bengal polls. Leander says taking this responsibility to make the country proud.
जब मैं बंगाल में टेनिस सीख रही तब से आज तक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर और अच्छा हुआ है, मगर बंगाल कैन डू बेटर.
After joining the BJP, Padma Bhushan winner and tennis star Leander Pace says infrastructure in Bengal has improved, but the state can do better. Calcutta High Court dismisses a PIL challenging the transfer of IAS and IPS officers ordered by the Election Commission. BJP releases 31-point manifesto for Assam. BJP promises implementing a UCC and removing illegal immigrants from the state. All right, viewers, are now beginning with the poll-bound state of Assam. The Chief Minister of the state, Hemant Biswa, has now made a huge statement saying that till the time there is a Bangladesh in this world, we will have to continue to fight against infiltrators. He also says it is an ongoing battle for the state and we will continue this fight against illegal immigration. Now, that's the statement made by the Chief Minister of the state on an issue that has become his political plank for the election as well, the issue of infiltration. And on this, he says it is an ongoing battle. We will have to continue our fight against illegal infiltrators until the time Bangladesh is there. The problem will persist for Assam. That's the statement made by the Chief Minister Hemant Biswa on the issue of infiltration. This comes right ahead of polls and even in BJP's manifesto, the 31-point manifesto, BJP has promised to remove illegal infiltrators from the state. And on this, the Chief Minister Hemant Biswa has now said that till the time Bangladesh is there. Remember, Assam shares its border with Bangladesh, and through the country there are a lot of illegal infiltrators who enter the country. And now Hemant Biswa commenting on that, saying that this issue will persist till the time Bangladesh is there. And now viewers, ex-Assam Congress Chief Bhupendra Bora and BJP candidate from Bihar seat spoke exclusively to the public and levelled some major allegations against the Congress party. Now, Bhupendra said that Congress has an anti-Assamese mentality and that they are not preparing for this election. He also goes on to say that Congress is limited to minority areas and that he will not be surprised if they fail to get even a single seat in Upper Assam. Now, Bhupendra also alleged that Kharge has damaged Congress's future. Watch this detailed report about these explosive allegations levelled by Bhupendra Bora. Take a look.
You had been Congress president earlier, but if you can give some sense of wisdom to the Congress party, what would you say?
In the most crucial time of the Congress history, I was the president for more than 4 years. When I resigned from the party, now I can tell you one thing. If one single seat Congress will able to win from North Bank of Assam, I will be the most happiest person. If one single seat Congress will able to win from the Upper Assam, I will feel proud that my whole party colleagues own from Congress party. Now, people are not with Congress because yesterday also Mallikarjun Kharge damaged the entire future of the Congress party. Because he announced that when Congress will come back to power, then they will give land to the Bangladeshi, they will give home to the Bangladeshi. And Khargeji was not acceptable from very beginning to the people of Assam. Because when our heartthrob Dr. Bhupendraji's name was announced for Bharat Ratna, that time Khargeji was in the parliament and he opposed Bhupendraji's Bharat Ratna very strongly, that people of Assam will not forget it. When semiconductor project was started in Jagirut, then Mallikarjun Khargeji's son Priyank Kharge, he tweeted, he spoke to the media that Assam is not place for industry. Assam is not right place for industry. Semiconductors should be transferred to Karnataka. And immediately, Congress PCC President Gaurav Gogoi supported Priyank Kharge that this semiconductor should go to the Karnataka. So this anti-Assamese sentiment, that works, what they are doing, what Mallikarjun Kharge, his son, and Assam Congress presidents, what they are doing, people of Assam are now realizing, and so on 9th April they will get the reply from the people of Assam.
And now viewers, from election updates, moving on to what's happening in West Asia. Russia here has come out on a big statement saying that West Asia crisis could escalate into a broader conflict. Russia, in fact, has also offered to mediate between the warring nations involved in this current conflict. Russia also calls for a halt to unjustified US and Israeli aggression in this conflict. Now, it is a big statement coming in from Russia saying that They're calling for a halt to this conflict, while at the same time they say that this conflict could now escalate into a broader regional war. All right, my colleague Gesu now joins me with more details. Gesu, it's a big statement coming in from Russia. They've called out the unjustified aggression by Israel and the US, and at the same time also offered to mediate between the warring parties. Give us more details.
Right, Ishita. In fact, Russia has been saying this since the beginning. They say that West Asia, the Strait of Hormuz, have been plunged into a complete crisis because of Western aggression, the mounting Israeli-US aggression against Iran. Now, in fact, Russia says that they are ready to mediate. This also comes at the heels of the Russian President Vladimir Putin holding various phone calls with the US President Donald Trump, where he had given him alternatives to resolve the conflict that's ongoing and only escalating by the day. Not just that, their foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov, also said that this is completely the fault of the Western alliance, the Israel and the US, that are mounting their aggression against Iran. In fact, they say that if this continues how it is, then the region will fall into a larger trap. The West Asia conflict will become big enough for there to be no return possible, no U-turn, no other option remaining other than a huge amount of bloodshed and the energy resources, of course, and the economic resources like the Strait of Hormuz being completely brought to a standstill. Now, I also have a statement here. The Russian ambassador confirmed that Russia has already taken corresponding steps, speaking to the US and Israel on one side. In fact, they also said that they are in close coordination and close communication with Iran. That is, of course, a close strategic ally of the Russians. And they say that they are speaking to everybody, including the GCC, which includes leaders from countries like Saudi Arabia, UAE, even Qatar, to come to a larger regional standoff on the matter to bring everybody on a table for dialogue. Now, Russia says that in case that is not possible, this will completely go on to become a bigger war and will change into a war from where there will be no turning back. That's the latest that we're getting in. Now, in fact, also to point out, the foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov, emphasized that Russia is looking for a balance of interest. Russia is looking for international law to completely return and to hold ground like it did before the escalations began on the 28th of February. Not just this, Vladimir Putin also completely and closely speaking with US President Donald Trump, but there have been no consequences per se of these talks as of now. Ishita.
Right, of course, so Russia offering to mediate as well as calling out Israeli aggression against Iran. Thank you, Gesu, for joining us with all the latest on this. And now, viewers, Iran has made a bold geopolitical move in this conflict. Now, it already maintains a chokehold over the Strait of Hormuz, and now its parliament has also approved a plan to impose tolls on the ships which are passing through the strategically crucial Strait of Hormuz. It's a route that carries nearly a fifth of the world's oil supply, and this decision by Iran's parliament comes amid escalating tensions in West Asia. It certainly has raised concerns over potential restrictions that could now come in on international shipping and could also lead to a fresh spike in energy prices. Take a look at this detailed report that talks about the tax that could now be imposed on the ships trying to pass through the Strait of Hormuz.
In a major escalation in the ongoing West Asia crisis, Iran has now approved the plan to impose tolls on ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz. The move comes amid intensifying conflict over the strait, with tensions already disrupting global shipping and energy supplies. Under this new approval by Iran, vessels transiting the strategic waterway may soon have to pay a fee, a transit toll, in rial-based currency system, while passage for ships linked to US, Israel and nations involved in unilateral sanctions against Iran will be blocked. The plan also outlines cooperation with Oman in establishing the further legal framework for this crucial strait. The Strait of Hormuz handles nearly 20% of the world's oil supply, making it a vital artery for global energy trade. Any disruption here has immediate worldwide consequences, as we have been seeing for the past few days. In recent weeks, the region has already witnessed a sharp decline in shipping traffic, with vessels rerouting, delaying journeys, or even halting operations due to security risks. Iran's latest decision is being seen as an attempt to tighten control over this strategic waterway, leveraging its position amid ongoing war. This move has also triggered alarm across global markets, with oil prices surging, frequently topping $100 to $116 a barrel, and fears growing over a prolonged energy crisis. Meanwhile, the United States and its allies have strongly opposed any restrictions on free navigation in the Strait of Hormuz, with US President Donald Trump threatening to obliterate Kharg Island if the Strait of Hormuz is not open, and the White House secretary also reiterating the claim. All eyes are now on Iran and US as this crisis unfolds and the stakes continue to rise.
Now, viewers are moving on to more details coming to light on Russia's reaction on the ongoing conflict. Now, Russia's Lavrov says regime change plans in Iran and Venezuela were all about oil. It's a calling out to USA. Russian Foreign Minister, in fact, also goes on to say that the US plans to unfurl regime change in Iran and Venezuela were already aimed at gaining more control over oil and gas resources. Lavrov also goes on to say that US and Israel did not want normalization between Iran and its neighbors in West Asia, and also cautions at the same time that the war in the Middle East could spiral now into a wider conflict. So Russia here is calling out the United States against its aggression on Iran, at the same time saying that all the operation in Venezuela or in Iran, they were always aimed at getting control of the oil as well as gas resources in these countries. In fact, Lavrov also goes on to say that the US did not want a normalization of ties between Iran and its neighbors in West Asia, while warning that the current conflict now could escalate into a broader regional war involving Gulf nations as well. That's the big warning coming in from Russian side. Remember, Russia has also offered to mediate between the warring parties in this conflict. In fact, from the very start, Russia has been holding this stance, saying that it's calling out the aggression by US and Israel against Iran. At the same time, offering to mediate between the warring parties, and now it has also warned, saying that these regime change operations from the very start, whether it was Venezuela or whether it's Iran now, they were always aimed at getting control of the oil and gas resources in these countries. At this point, Russia's foreign minister has also warned, saying that this conflict, if it goes ahead, it could also escalate into a broader war. All right, my colleague Rakshita now joins with more details on this. Rakshita, Russia has always been offering to mediate between the warring parties, but now it's also saying that these regime change operations, whether it was Venezuela before and now Iran, they were always aimed at getting control of the oil and gas resources.
Absolutely. We've seen this, that the regime change in oil-producing countries, has had a very, very clear objective, at least what even Trump recently had said. He had said in as many words that he wants to take the oil out of Iran. He wants to take control of the oil in Iran. That was made very, very clear by America. We've seen time and again that that US has been changing goalposts. It is not even clear, but Iran says that they've been changing their stance about what they really want to achieve. Regime change, Donald Trump says that has been done. Now he says, I want to take control of the Iranian oil. And that's why they also talk about they want to control now the Strait of Hormuz. He, of course, has no options right now. He's scrambling for options to do that. But that is what has been outlined in what he has said recently. And that's what Lavrov is only talking about. Russia remains an ally of Iran. And it is now saying that it was the regime change, as we've seen, Trump has been talking about, US has been talking about getting Iran rid of the nukes or the nuclear facilities, or stopping it from building the nuclear weapons, or it is for the good of the Iranian people. But ultimately, it all boils down to oil, and that's what Lavrov is indicating, and also, of course, warning that this could, in fact, widen the conflict. And we already see, Ishita, that this conflict is widening. We've seen that it is spread across West Asia. The oil infrastructure is being hit. All the oil infrastructure has been hit. The Strait of Hormuz is completely under Iranian control, as we have seen, and that is what Iran has in fact tried to hit back US with. And yes, we've seen that even the Chechen fighters who are pro-Russia forces, they are fighting with Russia against Ukraine, are also going to take part. At least that's what Iranian media is saying. So yes, Russia is trying to play a part directly or indirectly. Directly it says it's ready to have mediate a dialogue or become a mediator. But we also of course understand that there could be some indirect backing as well. In the meantime, viewers, let's take a listen into what Lavrov exactly has said.
We are in the middle of a reshaping of the world order that will hopefully lead to the formation of a stable and fair multipolar world. But right now, this restructuring looks more like disruption in all spheres. We can say that we are in the middle of a reshaping of the world order that will hopefully lead to the formation of a stable and fair multipolar world. But right now, this restructuring looks more like disruption in all spheres.
All right, viewers, now moving on. The escalation in Lebanon has now reached a critical flashpoint with UN peacekeepers are now being caught in the crossfire. Now, as Israel continues with its ground offensive, we are looking at the peacemakers coming under constant attacks and the layer of safety now exactly vanishing for these peacekeepers and observers in these war zone areas. It has sparked a global diplomatic crisis as well. Take a look at this report that talks about this very pressing issue at this point of time.
The thin line in southern Lebanon is fracturing. In a span of 24 hours, 3 UN peacekeepers have been killed as the conflict between Israel and Hezbollah enters a deadly new phase. The UN confirmed that 1 peacekeeper was killed when a projectile struck a UN post. Hours later, an explosion struck a UN vehicle, killing 2 more and leaving others critically wounded.
3 members of the United Nations peacekeeping force in southern Lebanon have been killed just in the last 24 hours as the war continues to rage and actually escalates between Israel and the Iran-backed Lebanese militant group Hezbollah. Now, we heard from the United Nations that all 3 of these peacekeepers were from Indonesia, and this is because different countries from around the world contribute troops from their armies to this peacekeeping force that basically monitors the border, the demarcation line between Israel and Lebanon has long acted as a buffer between the countries and implements the ceasefires that have resulted after decades of conflict between Israel and Hezbollah.
The UN said that all 3 peacekeepers belonged to the Indonesia contingent and were monitoring the war in Lebanon. The UN has issued a strong condemnation, reminding all parties that targeting peacekeepers is a violation of international law. The source of the fire remains under investigation, but the timing is undeniable. These fatalities coincide with the Israeli military's announcement of expansion of its ground invasion, pushing deeper into Lebanese territory and squeezing neutral forces between 2 warring fronts. As the war enters its 2nd month and widens across the region, the presence of international monitors is becoming increasingly precarious, signaling a total breakdown of regional safeguards.
And now, viewers, right after ammunition depot in Isfahan was hit, Iran is now retaliating with shooting a barrage of missiles on central Israel. We're looking at Tel Aviv also coming under attack. We'll get you the visuals of those attacks that are now taking place all across central Israel. Specifically, the city of Tel Aviv has now come under attack. Residential buildings are getting hit, and due to the debris falling from the interception of these Iranian missiles, a lot of damage has now been reported all across the residential areas. We're getting you visuals of those buildings now being damaged all across central Israel, specifically in Tel Aviv, in this latest salvo of missiles that have been fired by Iran right after Isfahan was hit. Now you can see how cars have been burnt and the debris scattered on the floor. This is the aftermath visuals of the attack that's taken place on Tel Aviv. All right, viewers, and now also getting you visuals from other parts of central Israel which are coming under attack. Now, Petah, Tikva and Bnei Brak have also come under attack. This is, again, a shrapnel falling from Iranian missiles which has caused extensive damage on the ground. Aerial footage of the rocket projectile falling on a house in Bnei Brak is in the latest bombing of Tel Aviv. We're getting you those visuals. You can see on your screen how residential areas are now being hit all across central Israel right after Isfahan was hit. Now, it's a salvo of missiles which were fired by Iran. Several of them have been intercepted, but the debris from the interception has fallen on these residential areas, causing much damage on the ground. In fact, about 11 people have been injured in these latest attacks in Bnei Brak. And those are the visuals on your screen from Tel Aviv, showing you the latest attacks that have taken place due to the interception of missiles in these areas. And now, viewers, shifting focus. The Ukrainian city of Bucha that has marked the 4th anniversary of the massacre, remembering the hundreds of civilians killed during the attacks in the early days of the war. Now, Russian troops have seized Bucha, holding town for nearly a month. Take a look at this report that talks about how much damage has now been incurred in the city as it marks about 4 years of this ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine.
The Ukrainian city of Bucha has marked the 4th anniversary of the massacre, remembering the hundreds of civilians killed during the attacks. In the early days of the war, Russian troops seized Bucha, holding the town for nearly a month before Ukrainian forces pushed them out. What followed shocked the world. Bodies of men, women and children found on the streets, in homes and buried in mass graves, many showing signs of torture. According to local officials, 422 bodies were recovered. On Monday, residents gathered near a church where many victims were laid to rest, lighting candles and reading out names etched into memory.
Їхав на автомобілі. Йому потрібно було доставити вантаж для пологового будинку в Ворзелі і дитячого будинку. Так. Вже на дорозі назад, коли вони вже поверталися.
Папа не туди повернув, і там був снайпер. Папа вийшов із машини без пістолету, і снайпер сказав, що в нього є 5 секунд, щоб він звідси уїхав.
І тільки там сів в автомобіль. Всі 4 сидіння були прострілені, куля поцілила йому в спинний мозок. Хочу, щоб одна людина не забула, що тут відбувалося, щоб ніде це ні в коїм случаї не повторилося.
Щоб не одна людина не забулася.
Коли просто ні за що вбивають дітей, мирних жителів. Просто тому, що ми живемо.
З одного боку 4 роки великого вторгнення, 4 роки втоми, 4 роки сліз, 4 роки трагедії, 4 роки смертей, 4 роки розлуки в сім'ях, але з іншого боку 4 роки ми стоїмо, 4 роки в нас все ще є надія, 4 роки, але ми все-таки впевнено дивимося в майбутнє. І це все дякуючи нашим Збройним силам, дякуючи допомозі багатьох людей і в Україні, і за межами України. І в такі дні дуже важливо, щоб ми, пам'ятаючи про тих людей, яких ми втратили, яких поруч фізично з нами нема, але все-таки не втрачали надію і вірили в наше світле і, я думаю, все-таки радісне майбутнє.
Survivors say remembrance is not just about grief, but about ensuring such atrocities are never repeated.
And viewers, that's all we could pack in this edition of Live and Breaking. Thank you so much for watching. And coming up on the other side, IRGC Deputy Commander says Hormuz blocked because of America's foolishness. America remains defeated on the Strait of Hormuz.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला
यानी इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
हमें धीरज के साथ संयम के साथ शांत मन से हर चुनौती का मुकाबला करना है इसलिए मैं देशवासियों से भी कहूंगा कि हमें हर चुनौती के लिए तैयार रहना ही होगा जैसा कि हम देख रहे हैं कि इस युद्ध को लेकर पल पल में हालात बदल रहे हैं आदरणीय सभापति जी ये संकट अलग प्रकार का है और इसके समाधान भी अलग प्रकार से ही तय किए जा रहे हैं हमें धीरज के साथ संयम के साथ शांत मन से हर चुनौती का मुकाबला करना है आदरणीय सभापति जी जैसा कि हम देख रहे हैं कि
Asia's largest news headquarters setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Very good afternoon, viewers. You're watching Live and Breaking, and I am Rakshita Mishra with you. We get you minute-by-minute developments coming in from the war zone. We're flooded with news coming in, the statements that are being released from different sides, and, of course, reports from inside the war zone and much more. First, the headlines. IRGC Deputy Commander says Hormuz blocked because of America's foolishness, says US defeated on the Strait of Hormuz. Iranian media claims Iran intercepted and shot down US-Israeli Lucas drone. Iran's revenge strikes continue on Tel Aviv. Shrapnels from Iranian missiles damage houses in attacks. Iranian parliament panel clears that plan to impose tolls on Strait of Hormuz, banned passage to US and Israeli vessels is banned.
Social post this morning. He wants to see a deal over the next 10 days. That timeline is waning, several days left, and we'll see. I won't get ahead of it. We'll see what happens in the end of the 10-day period.
White House reiterates its claims. Secretary says President Trump not ruling out possibility of ground operations. All right, viewers, we start with the breaking news coming in right now. As per the media reports from Italy, Italy has refused the landing of US warplanes to the West Asia at a base on the island of Sicily. And that's the breaking news we have right now. Iran has refused to allow US planes to use the Sigonella base for missions in Iran amid accusations that the US has not followed protocol. And Italy has also avoided now involvement in this conflict with this. And of course, Italy has hosted key NATO facilities. And now what we understand is that Italy has refused landing of US warplane. As per sources, this is after Spain had said no. Now you have Italy, also another European country, denying American aircraft permission to use its base. Rome has refused authorization for a US stopover en route West Asia, saying no formal request was made after Spain denied airspace for Iran war-linked flights. We're talking about the Sigonella air base, and Italy has refused US authorization to use this Sigonella air base. In fact, viewers, the US-Israeli attack on a major Iranian pharmaceutical company that specializes in producing anti-cancer, anesthesia, and special disease drugs has caused significant destruction to its production line. So Iran has claimed that Israel is striking its pharmaceutical facilities, medical facilities. This is a cancer drug, cancer vaccine, cancer drug producing company, anesthesia producing company's facility that has been targeted by Israel. That is what is being claimed by Iran. And in fact, this is another sort of that is being seen as an escalation. We've seen time and again that there are several facilities that have been targeted of humanitarian importance. And this is another claim that has been made now. And now water reports coming in from Iranian media. The water desalination facility on the Kashim Island has been knocked out following strikes. This is another big update that we are getting in right now. Kashim Island is an Iranian island in the Strait of Hormuz of the Persian Gulf, and now the water desalination, because this is a very important, viewers. The water desalination plants are actually important for the water supply of all the Gulf countries. And now what we know is that and it's known to be an important missile hub for Iranians. And now Israel has struck this desalination facility also. Remember how Iran has been threatening of hitting desalination facilities, and it has reportedly struck some of them as well, few of them as well. And now Israel has struck the desalination facility of Iran in the Kashim Island. It is now out of service. What we understand, the Kashim Island's desalination plant is out of service, and it's knocked out by the airstrike. It's not functioning. So it also is very important for the water supply, which has been now struck. So there are no red lines in this war from either side, is what we understand, viewers. Meanwhile, viewers, escalation that came in today is how the US struck a key ammunition facility in Iran's Isfahan district. In Isfahan, using the 2,000-pound bunker buster bombs just hours after Trump hinted that there could be an escalation. Now, what we understand is that this is the bunker buster we're talking about. It's a 900 kilo. It can at least, of course, hold 900 kilograms of payload. And now it has struck this facility just hours after Trump hinted at ending the offensive. According to reports, a large number of penetrator munitions were used in this operation, suggesting the target, including fortified or underground structures. So Isfahan is a critical military hub, viewers. It's closely linked to Iranian nuclear infrastructure as well. Okay, as we continue to tell you, we are just shifting our focus to other stories now coming in. And now Iran has made a bold political move, a geopolitical move that could be reshaping global trade dynamics, viewers, after its parliament approved a plan to impose tolls on the Strait of Hormuz that is critical for the oil supplies, a route that carries nearly a fifth of the world's oil supply. Now, the decision comes after the escalation in the West Asia crisis. Now, there are going to be tolls that are going to be imposed, and the entry of course, US and Israeli vessels is banned.
In a major escalation in the ongoing West Asia crisis, Iran has now approved the plan to impose tolls on ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz. The move comes amid intensifying conflict over the strait, with tensions already disrupting global shipping and energy supplies. Under this new approval by Iran, vessels transiting the strategic waterway may soon have to pay a fee, a transit toll, in rial-based currency system, while passage for ships linked to US, Israel and nations involved in unilateral sanctions against Iran will be blocked. The plan also outlines cooperation with Oman in establishing the further legal framework for this crucial strait. The Strait of Hormuz handles nearly 20% of the world's oil supply, making it a vital artery for global energy trade. Any disruption here has immediate worldwide consequences, as we have been seeing for the past few days. In recent weeks, the region has already witnessed a sharp decline in shipping traffic, with vessels rerouting, delaying journeys, or even halting operations due to security risks. Iran's latest decision is being seen as an attempt to tighten control over this strategic waterway, leveraging its position amid ongoing war. This move has also triggered alarm across global markets, with oil prices surging, frequently topping $100 to $116 a barrel, and fears growing over a prolonged energy crisis. Meanwhile, the United States and its allies have strongly opposed any restrictions on free navigation in the Strait of Hormuz, with US President Donald Trump threatening to obliterate Kharg Island if the Strait of Hormuz is not open, and the White House Secretary also reiterating the claim. All eyes are now on Iran and US as this crisis unfolds and the stakes continue to rise.
Now, Iran has made Iran continues to strike several parts of Israel. Specifically, we talk about central Israel, where the air raids continue and the sirens keep blaring. Now, in the latest, there have been no casualties per se officially that have been claimed that has happened. But if you just go inside Israel, as a reporter is, it tells you a different story. Here's a report, latest report from central Israel from my colleague Nick.
Sirens blaring, people running for cover, central Israel under attack again. Iranian missiles trigger air raid alerts. The Israeli military says one missile was intercepted mid-air, another one fell in an open area in the Jordan Valley. This time, no casualties reported, but that does not mean safety on the ground.
Here it is Shkunat Kerem, one of the most famous and popular neighborhoods of Tel Aviv. Just a few minutes walk from the beach. Here is the Mediterranean Sea, and people from around Israel and also a lot of tourists coming to live here because it has a unique atmosphere, very young, and a lot of things going on here. There is a lively market here, the main market of Tel Aviv, Shuk Carmel, and there are a lot of people here all the time. And the ballistic missile of Iran targeted this area. One of the cluster munition fell on this home here, and the building almost completely destroyed from the blast. Fortunately, Israelis are used to this reality, and they have enough time to find a shelter. Most of the people getting alerts on their smartwatches or on their smartphones about 10 to 15 minutes before the sirens starting, and there another 1.5 minute before the blast happening, before the rockets hit, and it is enough time for people usually to find a bomb shelter. But here, because it is an old neighborhood, you can see that the buildings here are big, are really old, and that's why they are not strong enough to withstand this shock wave of the ballistic missiles, and that's why there's a lot of damage to all of those houses. The shock wave is going through the walls, sometimes it's breaking the walls and the windows, and anything becoming a lethal weapon, anything that on the ground rocks and glass and metal, anything can become a deadly snorkel, and that's why this is really dangerous to stand on the street while those rockets are coming. And you can see how extensive is the damage just from one ballistic rocket of Iran.
Exclusive ground visuals show how people are living in the constant shadow of sirens. Every few hours, a life comes to a halt, residents rushing into bunkers, waiting for the next strike.
Now the sirens are started in the center of Israel, and we can hear in the building, in the speakers, it says that it's a red color. It means that now we need to find a shelter. This looks like a shelter, but maybe there is a better protected area. Now it's time to find a protected area in the building. Now we need to stay in a shelter for 10 minutes, and after that Israelis should get alerts on their mobile phones that now it's safe to go out to the street again, and until then we just need to stay and hope that everything will be okay.
Iran has launched multiple salvos, including a cluster munition strike on Bnei Brak, leaving at least 10 people injured. Residential buildings have been damaged, with debris scattered all across the streets. On ground, the fear is real, and this is the new normal in central Israel.
Now all the Israelis in the center of the country got on their mobile phones, smartwatches, alerts that now there will be sirens, air sirens, because Iran attacking again the center of Israel. They just sent ballistic missiles half hour ago, and now they're sending again. And people like me who are caught in the middle of the street need to look for a shelter. Now I'm going on a street that I don't know so much, and I look for places where shelters could be. And this is something that Israeli now became experts in, because they need all the time to find shelters. Usually the best solution is to look for some big building and to go there. I can see now a big building here ahead of me, but I need to run to be on time to reach the building, because it's really dangerous to stay on the streets, and we don't have too much time. That's why we need to run, and this is the reality in Israel. Unfortunately, people need all the time to think about where is the closest shelter, and it's a very stressful reality. Although many Israelis get used to it, but still you never can get used to live in wartime when you are bombarded by ballistic missiles all the time. And Iran also using illegal cluster munition in most of its rockets, which means that one rocket exploding and becoming many small rockets that are covering large piece of land, sometimes kilometers or even tens of kilometers, and all of those places are hit by those rockets. And usually the rockets hit residential areas
With Iran continuing its barrage, the region remains on edge.
And viewers, as we continue to get you more reports from inside Israel, Israel Defense Forces have now said that they have struck an advanced weapon facility in Iran. They released a video that is coming in from production sites in Tehran. This is a video of Israeli strikes on the weapon production sites in Tehran. You can see this map that has been released by the IDF, and they say that there are different facility programs, missile program facilities that have been hit. As you can see, they zoom into it and they illustrate where it's present in Tehran and around Tehran. Ballistic missile production site has been hit, and anti-tank production site has also been hit. So these are this is something that has been released by Israel. Can we just stop over when it flashes? Can we just stop over here? We can just read out what is written. Just don't keep moving this map, please. These are 3 points that have been struck. These are Iranian production sites in Tehran that have been struck by the Israelis, casting and filling ballistic missile warheads with explosive material, anti-tank and small anti-aircraft missile, and additional weapons production, research and development. So R&D site and missile production site have all been hit in Tehran, as claimed by Israel, because we see that US and Israel continue to say that they are trying to completely decimate the missile production capabilities of Iran, and their strikes henceforth continue in the city of Tehran. They've also hit the IRGC-affiliated university as well yesterday, and we see more and more such videos that are being released by the IDF. Meanwhile, viewers, we have more breaking news coming in from the Gulf region. Bahrain now says that it has intercepted 182 missiles and 400 drones. Bahrain's defense ministry says that defense force says it has intercepted and destroyed 182 of the drones that have targeted the Kingdom of Bahrain since the start of the war. So that's a figure that has been put out by Bahrain, that in total till now, ever since this war has broken out, it has intercepted 182 missiles, and 400 drones have been also intercepted since day 1 of the war. So we've seen that Gulf countries continue to reel from these strikes from Iran, but they've been intercepted. As far as how many of them have been intercepted, that has been put out by Bahrain right now. And other countries like UAE, Qatar and other countries also continue to put out those facts and figures from their side about the damage and the interceptions out there, countering Iran's missiles and drones. In fact, the escalation, if we shift our focus to Lebanon, it has reached a critical flashpoint now, with the UN peacekeeping forces are also now caught in the crossfire. And as the Israeli ground offensive in southern Lebanon is deepening, the neutral zone is only evaporating, turning international observers, and in fact, the international observers have been turned into targets, and it sparked a global diplomatic crisis as well. Take a look at this report.
The thin line in southern Lebanon is fracturing. In a span of 24 hours, 3 UN peacekeepers have been killed as the conflict between Israel and Hezbollah enters a deadly new phase. The UN confirmed that 1 peacekeeper was killed when a projectile struck a UN post. Hours later, an explosion struck a UN vehicle, killing 2 more and leaving others critically wounded.
3 members of the United Nations peacekeeping force in southern Lebanon have been killed just in the last 24 hours as the war continues to rage and actually escalates between Israel and the Iran-backed Lebanese militant group Hezbollah. Now, we heard from the United Nations that all 3 of these peacekeepers were from Indonesia, and this is because different countries from around the world contribute troops from their armies to this peacekeeping force that basically monitors the border, the demarcation line between Israel and Lebanon, has long acted as a buffer between the countries and implements the ceasefires that have resulted after decades of conflict between Israel and Hezbollah.
The UN said that all 3 peacekeepers belonged to the Indonesia contingent and were monitoring the war in Lebanon. The UN has issued a strong condemnation, reminding all parties that targeting peacekeepers is a violation of international law. The source of the fire remains under investigation, but the timing is undeniable. These fatalities coincide with the Israeli military's announcement of expansion of its ground invasion, pushing deeper into Lebanese territory and squeezing neutral forces between two warring fronts. As the war enters its second month and widens across the region, the presence of international monitors is becoming increasingly precarious, signaling a total breakdown of regional safeguards.
All right, we were shifting focus to the poll-bound states. Talking about West Bengal, on the BJP-TMC clash in Chopra, BJP leader Shankar Ghosh has said, and I quote, that West Bengal is known for political violence and there is nothing new in it. But this time it will be reversed, he says. And I quote him, those who are attacking our workers will get proper treatment in time. After the 2026 election, our new government will catch them and provide them the proper punishment to stop this kind of violence. Take a look at this report.
Political tensions flare up once again in West Bengal's Chopra as clashes between BJP and TMC workers intensify. BJP leader Shankar Ghosh has launched a sharp attack, saying political violence in the state is nothing new, but warning that the tide will soon turn.
All we know that West Bengal is known for the political violence. There is nothing new in it, but this time it will be reversed. Those who are attacking our Karyakartas, they will get proper treatment in time. After 2026 election, our new government will catch them and will provide them the the proper punishment to stop this kind of violence.
As political temperatures rise, all eyes remain on how the situation unfolds in the run-up to the crucial state elections.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट, ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े। चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार, विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
हमें धीरज के साथ, संयम के साथ, शांत मन से हर चुनौती का मुकाबला करना है। इसलिए मैं देशवासियों से भी कहूंगा कि हमें हर चुनौती के लिए तैयार रहना ही होगा। जैसा कि हम देख रहे हैं कि इस युद्ध को लेकर